this week I gave full control of my anime watch list to my Discord server. That's right, for 7 days straight I watched nothing but anime recommended to me by the absolute gremlins that live in my Discord server. And at the end of it all, I'm going to be giving each of them a rating out of 10 and picking my favorite one. But what these people don't know is that the person who recommended me the anime I enjoyed the most is going to be getting 1 year of Discord Nitro from me. So if you do go on to enjoy this video or just like the idea of bullying me into watching anime, then be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below one anime for me to watch. Because next time I'm not going to be using my Discord server, but I'm going to be using my subscribers. So I'm going to pick 7 random anime from the comments down below, so get commenting. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. So first up, we've got Takt Op Destiny. And I can't lie, this anime had me hooked from the very first fight scene because the animation is absolutely insane. I mean, I can't lie to you guys, Mappa and Madhouse didn't just cook with this animation, they opened up a 5-star restaurant. I mean, every movement was low-key kind of fluid, every explosion looked crisp, and the music in this anime is top tier. However, story-wise, it's a bit of a mixed bag. The whole concept of music arts and conductors fighting together against monsters is super cool, but it's not enough to make this anime special because the actual personality of the anime felt kind of lackluster. I mean, outside of a few moments, most of the characters just didn't leave that strong of an impression on me, and honestly, it felt like the show was hard carried by Lenny and Titan. Those two just brought way more energy, emotion, and life to the series than even the main characters did, especially Destiny, who honestly was a huge disappointment personality-wise. I mean, I personally think this anime kind of fumbled the bag by erasing Colette, even though she had the potential to be the best part of the anime. I mean, if this anime would have took more of a dual identity between Destiny and her former self, it would have been way more compelling and a seriously top-tier anime. But they didn't, and honestly, that has deducted a lot of points from this anime for me. So, overall, I'm gonna give this anime a 7.2 out of 10. Like, I can't deny that this anime was good because it was, and I do think it was definitely above average, but it just wasn't anything special. Like, the only real thing that it has truly going for it is the fact that it's visually amazing, but the story and the characters just needed a little bit more work and personality to them, in my opinion. Next up, we've got the anime that my Discord server has been waiting for me to watch forever, School Live, or as I like to call it, Night of the Living Lollies. And I'm not gonna lie, this anime had me conflicted to say the least. I mean, as I mentioned, people have been asking me to watch this for a while, and everyone in my server has always spoken highly of this anime. And I can't lie, there was moments where I was actually really finding myself enjoying watching it, which truthfully was mostly because of Kurumi, who I have to say straight up carried this show on her shovel. But then there were definitely times where I was sitting there and I was actually kind of getting annoyed, like literally pissed off, and unfortunately that was because of Yuki. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? Yuki is probably the best written character in this show when you really think about it. I mean, her whole arc around denial and how her brain is coping with trauma is genuinely well written, but the way she was portrayed for most of the anime just made me want to pick her up and volley her straight into those zombies myself, you know what I mean? And that was high-key frustrating because I can actually really see the potential in this anime. The concept of mixing that cute slice of life school stuff with a full-on zombie apocalypse is interesting, but Yuki low-key pissing me off just ruined it for me. With that being said though, I do totally get why people are big fans of this anime because there was definitely something unique with a lot of potential overall. So if I had to give School Live a rating, I'm gonna give it 5 out of 10, which might be a little bit harsh because there genuinely was parts of it that I really enjoyed, but my personal experience was just ruined by Yuki, and honestly that's a me issue, not an anime issue, so I'd still recommend that you guys do check it out and give it a chance if you want to. Girls Last Tour is one of those anime that wasn't at all what I expected it to be, but somehow ended up being one of the most quietly powerful shows I've ever watched. It's post-apocalyptic, slow-paced, and honestly, not a whole lot happens, but that's what makes it so special. It follows two girls, being Chito and Yuri, as they travel through the ruins of a practically dead world with just rations, each other's company, and a motorbike. And that's literally it. There's no epic battles, no major plot twists, just these two trying to survive in a world that's pretty much already ended. But somehow that simplicity becomes something incredibly moving. And what really hit me first with this anime was definitely that atmosphere. I mean, it's cold, desolate, and silent, but it's beautiful. The combination of that muted color palette with the hauntingly still landscapes and minimalistic music just combines together to create this eerie, lonely vibe that just gets you invested. And when you take that combination of things and combine it with the girls' casual conversations and goofy antics, it makes everything strangely comforting and makes this ultimate combination of combinations. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would expect this kind of anime that's set in a post-apocalyptic world to be full of despair and sadness, but this one was full of small, gentle moments. And of course that is because of the dynamic between the two girls. I mean, Chito's the quiet one, whereas Yuri's the carefree and slightly chaotic one, but together they just balance each other perfectly. So even though the world they live in is pretty much hopeless, their bond gives this show this sense of peace that's so enjoyable to watch. But on the other hand, I can also see that this anime definitely isn't going to be for everyone, you know? I mean, there's a lot of people out there, especially in today's day and age, that really need that fast-paced anime or big story, and this definitely isn't that. But what it is a slow burner with a heavy dose of vibes and honestly, a bit of a masterpiece. So if I had to rate Girls Last Tour, I'm giving it an 8.2 out of 10. So if you're ever in the mood for something calm, then definitely check this one out. And thank you so much for the recommendation. The Day I Became a God is one of those anime that sneaks up on you. First, it gives off this quirky, light-hearted vibe like your typical slice-of-life comedy with a little supernatural twist would do. By the end of it, it's something completely different, and honestly, it took me by surprise. The story kicks off with Yota, your average high school guy who meets this eccentric girl named Hina who just claims to be a god. She starts off by saying that the world is going to end in 30 days and just casually kind of inserts herself into his life like she's known him forever, and it's very weird, chaotic, and just a whole lot of fun to watch. But along with all that fun, this anime actually manages to be really intriguing because you know while watching it that deep down there's something else going on here. And because of that, this anime works so well. It starts off as a fun and comedic anime with all this random shit going on, but it slowly peels back the layers and you start to realize it's telling a much more emotional and grounded story than you ever would have expected after watching episode 1. I mean, the little arc about Izanami's family had me tearing up a little, and the stuff later on just wow. I'm not even gonna get into that, but wow. But let's move away from the story side of things for a second, because I have to say this anime as well was low-key visually stunning. I mean, I can't lie, my Discord really pulled through with some of the most beautiful looking anime I've ever seen. This wasn't particularly anything special, but the color palette in this anime was just so bright and expressive that it has this warmth to the animation that captures each of its characters, especially when it comes to Hina. She's loud, dramatic, and super extra, but she also has this incredibly touching and tragic side to her that we don't fully get to understand until later in the story. And when that tragic side hits, it hits. The emotional twist in the second half of this anime takes the story in a direction that's way more serious and bittersweet than you're emotionally prepared for. And honestly, it really caught me off guard. I mean, that shift from the comedy to drama really makes this show stand out and become something that's truly worth watching in my opinion. So yeah, if I had to give this anime a rating, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, honestly, I could rate it higher because I did really enjoy it, but because I didn't feel like we got enough of Best Girl Izanami, it's staying at a 7 out of 10. The game is the game. Problem children are coming from another world, aren't they? Wow, that title's a mouthful. But it is an isekai, so what do you expect? And I have to say, this anime is pure chaotic fun, and honestly, I had a blast of it, even though it really wasn't great. But I have got to take my hat off to my Discord for this one, because they know that I love me an isekai anime, and they gave me an excuse to watch one, so thank you so much for that. And honestly, I'm even more impressed by it, because, well, this wasn't your typical isekai, as it had a little bit of a twist to it. Instead of your usual casual protagonist stumbling into a fantasy world that we might be used to, this time we actually get 3 overpowered teens who are basically just bored of their own world and just want a challenge. So together they get summoned to a place called the Little Garden in order to participate in these high-stake gift games, and they're all just like, yeah, I'll just join in for a laugh, why not, mate? And then they proceed to break the rules in the most entertaining ways possible. And that attitude that those characters bring is honestly what sets this anime apart. From episode 1, you can tell it's not trying to be something deep or dramatic. It's just here to let its characters flex and have fun while doing it. In terms of the visuals, I will say it's not as beautiful as some of the other animes I've watched, but it's pretty solid, you know? The colours are vibrant, and the world of the Little Garden has a nice little fantasy game aesthetic to it that keeps things interesting. So overall, I think this anime delivers on the entertainment side of things. It's stylish, fast-paced, and it doesn't necessarily waste time pretending to be something it's not, which I can always appreciate. But as I said at the start, it's not great, so I'd give it like a 6.5 out of 10. It's just not really anything revolutionary, and there's definitely much better isekais out there, but it was a fun ride, and if you're an isekai addict like me, then you'll definitely have a great time of it regardless. High School Fleet was another one that's a little bit weird for me, but honestly, I'm glad it was recommended to me, because the concept of high school girls commanding warships is something I never thought I'd watch. Getting to follow along a crew of students who suddenly find themselves branded as traitors and having to survive on their own whilst uncovering what's really going on was really fun to watch. But I don't think this anime was anything special at all. I mean, it tries to be a mix of slice of life and some serious drama, but it doesn't always hit the mark, and the tone is kind of all over the place sometimes. Like, one scene it's light-hearted and goofy, and then the next you've just got a full-on battle with live rounds of ammunition flying. Like, the show just couldn't commit to either vibe, and it just felt messy sometimes. However, I will say that the characters themselves were fine, but they do kind of blur together. Like, there are so many names and roles thrown at you so quickly that it's actually kind of hard to connect with most of them, aside from the captain and a few of the main crew. But there are definitely some sweet moments and fun dynamics within this show, even though they don't really get enough time to develop in a meaningful way. So I've got to at least give them that, right? And I guess another positive would be the fact that the production values are actually kind of solid. Like, the ships look great, the water effects are decent, and the battles are animated with a little bit of care. Which honestly surprised me, because going into it, I was actually worried that that part would be really awful, but it actually wasn't. So if you're here for the unique concept of high school girly pops battling in ship combat, then there's definitely something you're going to enjoy. But story-wise, it never really landed for me at all. So in the end, I guess I kind of have no choice but to give this a rating of 6.5 out of 10, because again, I don't think it was bad, and I definitely don't regret watching it or feel like I necessarily wasted my time, but just something about it just wasn't hitting for me, you know, and it is what it is. But hey, I'm sure it might be more tailored to some of you lot, and you might end up going on to love it. And here we are with the final anime of the video, A Sign of Affection, and all I have to say is, wow. I'm really going to struggle to put how I truly feel about this anime into words, but it was just pure vibes from start to finish. And honestly, it impressed me so much. A Sign of Affection is a romance anime that takes things at its own pace, and I mean that in the best way possible. It follows Yuki, a deaf university student, and her growing relationship with a well-traveled multilingual guy who's patient and actually feels like a refreshing male lead in a romance anime for once. And the thing that really stood out to me right away with this anime was just the sheer softness of it. I mean, the animation itself is absolutely beautiful. The light pastel colors, expressive eyes, soft lighting, all of that combined with the vibes and personalities of the characters creates this cozy, emotional atmosphere that pulls you in immediately. But it's crazy because that's not even the best part about this anime. For me, the best part is the way they handled the communication in this story. Obviously, the main girl Yuki is deaf, but what I can really appreciate that is the fact that it's not just a disability that's there for the sake of a plot point. It's something this anime fully leaned into and really explored how people that are deaf connect when using words isn't necessarily an option. Getting to see them actually animate sign language this carefully was something truly amazing and that you have to appreciate. It's just something that you don't really see often in anime, but it really added this whole new layer of emotional depth to every single interaction, especially since she's such a likable protagonist too. I mean, she's shy and gentle, but you slowly get to see her open up and finding her voice in her own way, and I absolutely loved her. And the chemistry between her and the main guy was just so wholesome from episode 1. So yeah, I won't lie, A Sign of Affection was an anime that I was low-key putting off watching for a while, and when I got recommended it, I was really excited to watch it, and it didn't disappoint. Like, I left this anime smiling way more than I was expecting to. So if I had to give it a rating, honestly, it's getting an 8.9 out of 10 from me, and honestly, I feel like it might deserve higher. And with that being said, in total, that's 1 week with 7 different anime and a pretty wild mix of vibes. And I'm so happy that that was the last recommendation of this video because it's really left me with this calm warmth, you know? I mean, it's kind of crazy that in 1 week I've gone from music arts and zombie-infested schools all the way to one of the most beautiful and carefully animated romance series I've ever watched. So honestly, shout out to my Discord because some of these anime really surprised me. But the anime that I did enjoy the most this week and the one that left the biggest impression on me, hit the hardest and felt like something really special, as you guys can probably guess, is A Sign of Affection. I mean, it truly was just beautiful from start to finish. The story, the visuals, the emotional way, all of it just came together in a way that felt genuine and impactful. So Perk, congratulations because you will be receiving 1 year of Discord Nitro from me, and a big thank you to you and everyone else who submitted a recommendation. Other than that though, all I really have to say is if you did enjoy this video and maybe want to be a part of the next one, then all you have to do is just scroll down to the description and jump in the Discord. And from there you'll get to be a part of this really cool community, and next time I do this video with my Discord, you'll get a chance to recommend me something too. But while you're scrolling down to find the link for the Discord, you may as well let me know in the comments which anime to watch next, because the next time I do this video it's going to be with my comment section. So leave an anime down below and I will pick 7 random animes for the next time. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. Please remember to smack that like button, hit subscribe, and check out the video on screen now for more anime content from me. And on that note, I guess the only thing left for me to say is, as always, remember to feed your goldfish, pet your dog, and tell your family you love them. Peace the fuck out.